Down, 20 to go. Now for this level in particular, it's all about just basically timing your movements. Because there are going to be these two spinner things moving around. We've got to kick this block up and move this one over because we're not quite ready to run forward yet. What we have to do is kick this bottom block up into that block that we just displaced before. And when we do that, it's going to knock the other block away and block off that section further up. So we're going to move up, try and get there before the block thaws. Now you see that little gap off to the side? We got to kick this block and run as fast as we possibly can to it, and just barely make it. And grab the last dream bag and get out of here. Now I don't know about you, but I was missing hammer puzzles. So, here is a puzzle with hammers, or should I say, a hammer. And I forgot about those raccoon things. Those are going to make this far more difficult than it needs to be. Now, the obvious thing to do here is freeze the noggle, position the hammer either before or after it hits the spring, and knock these blocks up into those little gaps. Now the left gap is the one that's going to help you get that dream bag that is right next to the spring. The right gap is slightly more difficult than this. Alright, let's go ahead and grab this one dream bag first, and then go through the steps to getting the last one. What we're going to have to do is freeze this noggle, and then kick it... Damn it, I screwed it up. Okay, that didn't happen. God, these friggin' raccoons. Or whatever they are. I think they're called Rocky. So maybe they're squirrels. Okay, kick this over, and... Damn it. Now you'll see that I placed an ice pillar at the top there. What we're going to do is knock a block into that ice pillar, and then once we do that, I will explain what happens next. Alright, now we're going to drop the ice pillar. The hammer is already in position for what we have to do, so we're going to kick it down and step to this tile. That'll keep the block beside us, kick it into the spring, and it fills in the gap. Now, that was a puzzle with one hammer. This next puzzle is going to have 4 hammers. And, just to make it even more difficult, what we're going to have to do for this puzzle is get 2 blocks going through the hammers at the same time. Or almost the same time. There's actually a little leeway with this. Now we're going to clear out a space here and put an ice pillar, get this block positioned toward the bottom. Take out the ice pillar, and now we're going to freeze this one. But before we kick it anywhere, we're going to line it up with these hammers, and we're going to drop another ice pillar as soon as I make sure these blocks stay frozen right here. Now we're going to get this into position, and because the one on the bottom is going to take longer to travel through the hammers, we're going to kick that one first. So we're going to kick this, immediately go up and kick the other one. One of the blocks will fly away and the other will stay in position to fill in this gap. And from here, it's basically just a waiting game. Either the sparks will fly out and you can grab the dream bag, or they will push the dream bag out like they did here and make it much easier for you to grab. And because we're on a roll with this whole hammer level thing, how about yet another level with hammers? This time we're going to have 2 hammers on a rather small playing field. So small, in fact, that there are only a couple of spaces where we can have ice blocks or pillars. Now what we're going to do first is go up here and place an ice pillar, freeze this guy and kick him over. We're going to go to the other open spot and drop an ice pillar here. Take this one away, kick it over. But we're not going to go for the dream bag on the bottom just yet. I have an ulterior motive to doing this. What we're going to do is reposition these hammers. Knock this one down and up, and that'll clear a path for this dream bag. But we're not quite done yet with that section. I'm going to drop the ice pillar again. Get this over to the side again. Still not going for the bottom dream bag. We're going to kick this one back. You're going to see why I did that in a moment. Get away. Now we're going to do the same thing again. Reposition these hammers like we did the first time. Only this time we're going to go back to this one spot and drop a pillar. When that happens, it'll stop there. We'll move the hammer out of the way, drop the pillar, and be able to get that dream bag on the right. And from here on in, it should be pretty obvious what to do. We're just going to kick this over to the side and into that final gap. That was completely unnecessary. You don't have to do that. In fact, I'm not sure why I did that. I guess it was just habit from the last dream bag. I have dubbed this next stage Dream Theater, because the key to it is constant motion. What you're going to have here is you're going to freeze a block, kick it into the hammer, and then once it starts going, it will not stop. And if it does stop, you're doing something wrong. Now you get it going along this hammer, you wait for a time to go through, and then kick the hammer down so it'll start going across these springs. You're going to move the hammer again when it comes down, so it'll move into the side springs up here. And then you're going to move the hammer away again. And now you're going to go back to the bottom side of the hammer and kick it up, and it'll go into the second hammer. Now you're going to wait until this passes by again, and work your way back up to the second hammer. Now when it gets to this position, you are going to knock it out of the way, and then knock it down once more, and that will knock it into the gap where the final dream bag is. Since we're on a roll with these hammers, how about yet another hammer stage? This time we're going to have 2 hammers at the center of the stage. Oh, and did I mention we're going to be surrounded by springs? There are a total of 8 gaps you need to fill in to reach all of the dream bags. You're going to have these 2 cannons firing at you the entire time. And for each hammer, you are going to have to use 2 different sets of springs coming from multiple directions. So each hammer is going to knock 4 blocks into these gaps. And that was the first one. Now what we're going to have to do is wait for this cannon to kill that guy and go ahead and kick this one into that hammer. So we've got all the blocks coming from the lower right. Now we're going to have them approach the hammers from the lower left. So we're going to get this going on springs. Wait until it goes to the left, kick the hammer down. There. All the blocks on the bottom of the screen are filled in now. So now we'll have to get ice blocks to the top of the screen. And we can stop it with an ice pillar there, but now we have a problem. To get this going on these blocks, answer me a question. How are we supposed to stop it? Well, you can't. You're going to have to just wait for it to thaw, or start the level over again. Here's what you really do. Get it going on these side sections, because remember the gaps are filled in now. And once it starts going vertical, knock the hammer out of the way, and that's how you get it into those gaps. So now we're going to do this again with this one. And now we just got to move the hammers out of the way, and knock them back into place once they come back. Pretty simple puzzle. The only thing that might complicate it is the cannons. Because, you know what, I cut out all the times I died. I don't want to think about it anymore. Ugh. Stop delaying the inevitable. Thank you. Now I have good news and I have bad news. Good news is, no hammers for this stage. None. The bad news is, now we're going to have to deal with those gaps in the ice directly. And we're going to do that by first moving to the right and freezing this Noggle and getting it going on the springs. We're going to stop it with an ice pillar in the center section and kick it down into that spring, and that'll fill in the first gap for this dream bag. Now, we're going to have to keep doing this multiple times in order to reach all these different gaps. So we're going to put an ice pillar up there, and we're going to need another Noggle. That'll suffice. And we're going to stack it with that block. And now we're going to kick it over, and that'll fill in this gap toward this dream bag. And wait for Noggles. There we go. Ah, crap, now the knight's loose. Oh well, nothing I can't handle. Now we're gonna need more Noggles. There's one. And there's two, but I'm not gonna kick it just yet. All we really need to do is go to the lower right. But the question is, how do we do that? Well, you'll notice that with the way that they mapped out these gaps in the ice, that we can't exactly kick a block to the right and then kick it down the way that you would if you were going to go there directly. So what we're going to have to do is move over here and let traffic clear a little bit for these Noggles. And we're going to drop an ice pillar right here. Now, I already have an ice pillar at the bottom of the screen, which you can see. Now you're going to kick it while it is on these gaps in the ice, because you can do that. And that'll fill in the last gap, and we can move in right in front of this knight and grab it. Now, I must warn you, I hate this next stage. Absolutely hate it. Round 18, or as I like to call it, pain! You are on this small-ass triangular island with all these spiky things. Now you want to clear as much space as you possibly can, and this is all about being able to time your movements and drop ice pillars right at the right moment. I hate this stage. There are no words to properly encapsulate how much I hate this stage. Because you have to do shit like this. Oh, man, thank you. I am so glad that worked. Being able to capture them together like that for one square each is like one of the only ways you'll be able to clear this puzzle. Now it gets complicated, because no matter what you do, you're going to be releasing two at a time. Well, unless I just release that one. Yeah, that would still be two at a time. Oops. What I'm doing here is I'm just waiting for an opportunity to be able to drop the ice pillar, run down, and I can trap them there. Now what I'm going to do is move forward and trap them there. Yes! I don't know why I'm reacting to this. This is post-commentary. Oh shit. Shit. And drop. Good. Okay, now I only have a couple more left. So, and I am trying really hard not to screw this up. And I can just clear out this bottom one, and yes, thank you! Ugh. That isn't as bad as some of the later stages, but I just hate it on principle.